All right, welcome back from that talk all the way from Lagos. You can see today's episode is on a very unique and different location. We're outdoors today and celebrating the edifice of our wonderful building here, also known as the Broadcasting House. Of course, I've always told you that in ARTV we always seek for your satisfaction. So you can see behind me the very big edifice where our transmissions come out from and all that. Well, change is always what is necessary in life. Okay, we'll go on now to the next segment of what we have. Well, some people have been in the forefront of promoting youth employability and then empowerment. A lot of times I've also said here on the show that there is nowhere in the world where employment is guaranteed 100%. Every country has its challenges when it comes to employment and all that. But then the society, the government, the public and the private sector also have a role to play when it comes to employment and youth empowerment. Okay, I'll leave Comrade Ibrahim Zikirulahi to talk with us on what he thinks could be the way forward in addressing the issues when it comes to young people. I've also always said here on the show that young people are always used as tools for violence and all that, when it comes to politics and all that. And then after all that, they are left behind. But how can we synergize for the society to also channel ways where young people could be given employment and all that? And another sector that people should look at is the agricultural sector. It could just pose a huge opportunity for employment for young people. Let's join Comrade Ibrahim Zikirulahi and then we'll come back and still do Shagalinko.
My name is Ibrahim Zikirulahi. I'm the Executive Director of Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education. While we agree that unemployment is a global issue, I must tell you that Nigeria represents a very critical element of that global community. That is because in Africa, Nigeria has the largest population. In the whole world, Nigeria is the most populous black nation, and therefore, for whatever happens in Nigeria, reverberate across the continent. Take, for example, the issue of the insurgency that is ongoing in Nigeria. We can see how our neighboring countries are already feeling the impact. So, doing much in Nigeria to curb youth unemployment will go a long way in addressing the menace of youth getting into crimes across the African continent. And don't forget that even the developed country that we talk about, part of their unemployment situation is because of the migration that we are having from the undeveloped countries, that is the developing country, to the US and the Europe. So, if we are able to develop our youth, we are able to make them center of our developmental plan, I'm sure that even the Europe and America will have less to combat with. So, having said that, we have seen over time how our youth have been relegated to the background in terms of governance. They are only involved when it comes to voting, and the youth are the greatest voters in this country. So the politician takes advantage of their unemployed situation to harvest them as thugs during political campaigns. So they have the insurgency have also find them amenable to recruitment. So anybody that think of crime today is the youth they look out. So we said this is not healthy for the country, because over time you will find that majority of the youth will become criminals, and it's these criminals that will find their way to government tomorrow, and then you can imagine what the future of the country will look. So it will be good for us to nip at the bud the unemployment situation. That is why the Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education is calling on the government to declare a state of emergency on unemployment. So because any country that refuses to empower its youth is sitting at a keg of gunpowder which can explode at any time. So for us, we believe that we are not doing the youth favor, rather we are doing the country a favor by decisively tackling the unemployment situation in the country. So we know the benefit of it is that those that have in the society will be able to enjoy their wealth without fear of motorcycles to the unemployed youth, so that they will entice them to their own camps. So we would have been able to cut off that. Even the religious bigots that use the youth to foment trouble in the society would have also cut off their channels of recruitment, including the politicians. So it is important that the youth are given meaningful life. Today in Nigeria, we all know that the youth only know when they enter the university. They don't know when they will finish their education because of exercise strike. And this has to do with corruption and bad management. So all these things, by the time we are able to give them a sense of belonging, that look, you are not neglected, you are a citizen of this country, and all that the government is doing is to ensure that there is well-being of everybody, of the citizen. So then you will see that all these things we talk about, crime, armed robbery, kidnapping, and all the rest, will become a thing of the past. We know that there is no society where crime has been totally eliminated, but it would have been reduced to the barest minimum. And therefore, we are calling on the government to make it its cardinal focus in dealing decisively with youth unemployment in Nigeria. So, if we, in the Labour Palace, the ILO has said that the wealth of the majority will continue to be threatened by the poverty. The wealth of the few will continue to be threatened by the poverty of the majority. So therefore, there is need for us to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor in our society. And the only way that can be done is by creating mass employment for the youth. My last word is that, one, the youth ought to be patient. They should understand that they have life to live. They shouldn't allow anybody to induce them with money or any kind of material into joining crime, because once they are caught, then their life will be completely waste for them. Then on the part of the society, we must recognize that the youth are our future. We must do everything to ensure that the youth are taken care of. So they must be included in every development plan that we are having. And on the part of the government, they are the one that hold the key to our national resources. These resources must not be used to take care of very few that are powerful, but the majority of the youth ought to be taken care of, and the resources should be well devoted to solving the youth unemployment.